Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Shri Radha Damodar ki jai.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki, Shri Shri Yashoda Damodar ki. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki. Hare Krishna. So as I mentioned earlier, to this very auspicious day is the Ekadashi, Rama Ekadashi in the month of Kartik. And it's a very, very blessed day. Many devotees are receiving their formal initiation today. So now we'll have the initiation ceremony. Before we start, just want to make a couple announcements. Coming up next Saturday is what? So next Saturday is our big festival, Diwali Govardhan celebration here at the temple. So after Janmashtami, this is like our second biggest festival. You get a lot of a big crowd comes in. So please, we have sent out the message through WhatsApp. So please circulate it to your community. Share the word about our Diwali Govardhan Puja celebration. The festival starts at 4 p.m. and we'll have the big hill made of sweets, Sri Giriraj Govardhan. And suddenly we'll have Damodar Ashtakam, offering of ghee lamps, and there'll be Abhishek of Giriraj Govardhan. You can actually circumambulate Sri Giriraj Shila from Vrindavan. And there'll be some prasadam stalls. There's a wonderful drama that's being organized for that day, and we have dance performances, and always a wonderful prasadam. So it'll be a wonderful festival. Please share the message of our Diwali Govardhan Puja celebration next Saturday. Okay. And if anyone would like to offer some help for this festival, we always need a lot of help. It's a nice opportunity in the month of Kartik to come and offer some seva. So certainly in the kitchen we need a lot of help, and this will be from morning 11 all the way to 5, and especially if Matajis would like to come and help with the puris, that will be from 3 to 5. We need help with rolling and frying puris. So that is on Saturday. And also, if devotees would like to bring some different kinds of sweets and savories for Giriraj Govardhan, right? You can just prepare at home. It could be like besan laddu, cookies, or even savories. Everything that can be offered to the hill. So please do not offer it at home. Bring it here and we'll offer Giriraj Govardhan. Okay. So one is a cooking seva. One is you can come early, bring something for Giriraj Govardhan, help decorate Giriraj Govardhan. And also for Giriraj Govardhan, when Krishna will be lifting Govardhan, the entire Vrindavan was right there, right? So if you like to make some figurines of like gopas or gopis or cows, you can actually make something at home. Maybe print it, cut it, put it on nice like cardboard or something, and you can bring it and they'll go right under the hill next to Krishna Balaram, right? And it's nice for the children also to get involved with that nice seva. So Shri Krishna Balaram deities are about this height. So have your gopas, gopis and cows in proportionate sizes. So we don't want the cows to be like the size of Agasura or something. Right? So so it's nice festival. So please share the word. Please do join us next Saturday starting at 4 p.m. From 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock we'll be building the Govardhan Hill. So you can come early and help prepare Sri Giriraj Govardhan Hill. Okay? And next Sunday is the disappearance day of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So next weekend is very special. We'll have 2 days of festivals. So on Sunday, starting at 4 o'clock, we'll have our Artik and we'll have offerings to Srila Prabhupada, Pushpanjali to Srila Prabhupada, and Artik of Srila Prabhupada. So it's very, very important day. It's only by mercy of Srila Prabhupada that we are all here. So please do join us. Saturday is Diwali Govardhan Puja celebration, and Sunday will be Disappearance Day of Srila Prabhupada. Okay? And if anyone would like to sponsor any aspects of this festival, you can sponsor the Annakut Prasadam for Giriraj Govardhan for $301. You can sponsor the Artik on that day for $108. Abhishek of Sri Giriraj Govardhan for $108. And the decorations for the festival, $251. And the Govardhan Hill itself for $301. And similar for Prabhupada Disappearance Day, so sponsorship for the entire feast is $301. So if you'd like to sponsor any aspects of the festival, please do connect with myself or Mother Leela Shakti, and you can contribute something in this auspicious month of Kartik. Okay. So thank you all so much. So now we'll move on to the initiations and the class. So Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj will lead us into the class and the initiations. Okay. So everyone can hear. You start with the class, Maharaj? Okay, so those who are taking initiation, please come forward. Can all come forward, and there are cushions. Adi, can you get some cushions? It's right here. So, so everyone who's receiving initiation, please come forward. Okay, so you can sit from there, right? Let me move the mic stand. Okay, everyone, please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. One minute, let me move this. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Then we'll give the class.
That you have to ask Maharaj what order he wants. Ask Maharaj. Yeah, when we should be. Sure. Okay, so we have two here. You shouldn't have your back to the deities. Where is Mataji? Yeah, 1 minute.
On the side or
Okay. Mataji, maybe you and Prabhu can sit there. Maybe a little bit squeeze in. Yeah, here. So Prabhu and Mataji can come right there. And can he sit here? No, but the initials will be moved forward. Okay. So Prabhu, we'll move that cushion. You can take it out. Yeah. Yeah. This is only. No, he's Advait. Yeah, okay. Come a little forward. So you start with the class?
well, first is the actual purification.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
They both already have their beads. Should they unlike tie it and tie it when everybody
Oh
puts
no,
or
I
what?
think they already tied it. Abhi, they shouldn't take it out.
Already, right, na? Because everybody when you put in, they don't have the beads. Huh?
It's okay. Yeah. Prabhu, Achman cups. Yes, 4 cups. So, Maharaj, start off with Achman cup now. What's it cost? Yeah, bring some more.
I get some more.
Here, there's one more. You have one? Achman cup? Yeah.
They can share it.
Okay, there's one more here. Pass over. Prabhu, Mata, you can use two.
You can see it.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. Maha. Vivicho Vichava Gadopiva Sasmaret Buddharikaksham Vaya Vyantara Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. Okay? Okay, now we'll speak a little bit about initiation. People, you can turn around and see me rather than everybody put your back to me. So, Maganat Mirandasha Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Meditam Yena Tasmai Shigraveda Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who so kindly opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge while I was blinded in the darkness of ignorance. So I see just about everybody's wearing a mask. Very good. Over your nose. If I can give a class with a mask over my nose, there's no reason, and I could lead kirtan with a mask over my nose, then I think everybody can do the same thing. Thank you very much. And this is for the protection of everybody because we have not had an outbreak here in New Goloka. The temple's remained open for the last 2 or 3 years, and because we've observed these precautions. And it's one of the only temples I can think of that we have not had an outbreak in. So thank you very much for your cooperation. So today we are celebrating Vaishnava Diksha. So Vaishnava initiation, Vaishnava Diksha, means to connect one with a disciplic succession. And as far as the members of the Krishna consciousness movement are concerned, it means to connect one with our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So everybody who's taken initiation is connecting with a direct relationship. Of course, we all have our initiating gurus, but we also have a direct relationship with Srila Prabhupada, and we have as our service to serve the mission of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada according to your capacity. And what is the mission of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada? Of course, you may say it is ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and that's one thing that's true. But connected with the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is the mission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which is to create a spiritual revolution in society in a misdirected civilization. As the Bhagavatam says, Tadvag Visargo Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Pradishlokam Vadavachapi Namananantasha Yasho Nikataniyat Shrinvanti Gayanti Granandiyat Sadavaha. That's the purpose. And that's a verse from the Bhagavatam, that this Krishna consciousness is meant to create a spiritual revolution, nothing physical, no violence, peace, love, revolution in the lives of those who are in impious civilization. And today's civilization is definitely impious. And the way we create that revolution is by getting people to chant Krishna's thank you. Getting people to chant Krishna's holy name, but hearing the Shuddha Nama. Because chanting Krishna's holy name is a whole science, how to do it properly, to achieve spiritual perfection. Shuddha Nama means the pure name. So in order to come to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness, to be empowered to help others, one has to be, at least hear the pure name from a pure servant of Krishna. And of course, that pure servant of Krishna is Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who gave us Krishna's name. And by chanting Krishna's name, Cheto Darpana Marjana Bhava Mahadvagni Nirvapanam, one's heart becomes cleansed. One develops all sorts of good qualities. Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavacha Kinchana Savar Gunas Tatra Samasate Sura. And then one is capable of saving the world. And actually, that's the reason why I took up Krishna consciousness. I always wanted to help people save the world, and I realized that all other means of doing so were futile in the long term. They may help people short term. Certainly, we don't, or we're not against helping people short term, but we want to help people long term. Shreyas. There's two words, Shreyas and Preyas. Preyas means short-term help, which is fine. But long-term help is actually more important. Because long-term, we're concerned with everybody's destination. Not the destination that you will have when you leave this temple today, but the destination you will have when you leave this world. That's what we're concerned with. And so by the chanting of Hare Krishna, the pure chanting of Hare Krishna, we can change the face of this world, we can change the face of humanity. So the devotees who are taking initiation today are connecting with this mission of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, and by taking initiation, this is called Harinam initiation, they're making certain vows or taking certain vows, and which are promises, in order to accomplish that. They have a mission in life, a vision in life. All of us should ask the question, what is our purpose in life? Why am I here? What is my purpose? And if your purpose is just what? Making money or building a big house, that's fine. You can do those things. But that's not an ultimate purpose. Our ultimate purpose is tied in with our basic need of connecting with Krishna and helping others connect with Krishna. So that is the process of Krishna consciousness. So we mentioned that's done through chanting the Lord's holy name. So those who are taking initiation are promising to chant a minimum of 16 rounds of japa mala a day of Krishna's name, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this name, when it is heard from a pure source, is non-different from Krishna. Namachintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purnashara Nitya Mukto Vidantvam Nama Namino. So they're associating with Krishna, and Krishna the Supreme Pure and the Supreme Purifier. So, not only are they vowing or promising to chant 16 rounds every day, but also making some other promises that are secondary that deal with sub-religious principles. We have religious principles and sub-religious principles. Sub-religious principles are religious principles that bring one to the point of performing religious principles. Let me give you an example. let's say in the Western world, they have the 10 Commandments. So some of you may have heard about that. You know, honor your father and mother, don't commit adultery, honor God, don't covet, things like that. The interesting thing is, if you look at the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna really wasn't advised to follow those 10 because he was already following them. He was from a high-class culture. Whenever you have a rule, you know that means people are not inclined to follow that rule. For example, when you're driving a car and you see on the road 35 miles an hour, that means people are generally going to speed if they don't have that particular rule there. So these are sub-religious principles. That means principles that just bring you to the standpoint of being a human being. And there are 4 of them the devotees here are promising to follow. And they're very easy to follow. There are no meat, fish, or eggs, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. It's very simple. It's very simple. There's no problem with following those 4. Of course, nowadays, in Kali Yuga is the yuga of difficulty, the yuga or the age that we're in right now. They're difficult for many people. And just like right now, I'm spending a lot of time at the university speaking to the students. And many students are struggling. Just like the other night, they were celebrating Halloween. And today is Halloween, for those of you who don't know. Happy Halloween. Whatever that means. They were celebrating Halloween. And there were hundreds and hundreds of just rolling on the ground, intoxicated people, jumping over the fences, running away from the police. This is the nature of Kali Yuga. And because people are not following these 4 regulative principles, you have a lack of cleanliness, austerity, mercy, and truthfulness. Of course, truthfulness, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, is the last principle that is diminishing. The other ones are completely gone anyway. And we see, if we read the news, if we go on the internet, the truthfulness is actually gone at this point. I mean, nobody could figure out anything. What is the truth about medicine? What is the truth about COVID? What is the truth about anything that anyone says? People are very confused at this point. So this is the age of Kali. Of course, in the age of Kali, it may appear that it is a very difficult age, but there is a good quality in this age. Kaler doshan adhe rajan, ashyeko mahadguna, kirtana deva krishnasya, mukta sangha paramvajet. And the good quality is simply by chanting Hare Krishna and following these few simple rules and regulations, one can reach spiritual perfection. So it's very simple. The process for this day and age is extremely simple. You follow these 4 restrictions, which I mentioned before, are sub-religious principles, just to bring you up to the point of being a human being. And then you take the actual spiritual principle of chanting the Lord's holy name. And the Lord's holy name could be chanted in any culture. Of course, we are chanting the name Krishna. The name Krishna indicates the most attractive person who gives you ecstasy. Krishna. Na stands for Ananda. But if you like, you can chant Nrsimha, Ram, Varaha, Kurma, or if you're of a different culture, you can chant, if you're scared, you can chant Haram. Actually, this is a statement by Bhaktivinoda Thakur when he was relating a conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur. He said, even if when the Malechas are attacked by a boar, that doesn't mean a boring person. That means a big pig. They chant, Haram, Haram, how horrible, and they're making spiritual advancement. So, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Shaktis. But we are chanting the name Krishna, and that is and Ram, and other names, but the Hare Krishna mantra is composed of 3 words, Hare Krishna and Ram. Hare refers to Shrimati Radharani in the vocative case, O Radharani, Krishna refers to Krishna in the vocative case, Krishna, the most attractive person. Ram refers to either Lord Ram, Balaram, or Radha Raman. And so we are very fortunate to have this Maha Mantra. It's called the Maha Mantra, the great mantra, the most important, the most powerful mantra for chanting. It's described that one name of Krishna is equivalent to chanting 3 names of Ram, and that's equivalent to chanting 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. So it's the most potent name, the most intimate name, because only as the Krishna avatar, and the Krishna avatar, we are commemorating Krishna's appearance this month of Kartik. With the Krishna avatar, one can have a very intimate relationship. One could be the mother of Krishna. One could be the friend of Krishna, the conjugal lover of Krishna. And intimate in the sense that if you're a friend of Krishna, you can even chastise Krishna. And if you're situated in the parental relationship, like Mother Yashoda, of course you can never become the actual mother. Mother Yashoda is the mother, but you can have that same relationship. You can chastise Krishna. You can even run after Krishna with a stick. Don't try that now. If you run after Krishna with a stick, Yamaraj will come running after you with a stick. But the name Krishna is so wonderful because you can associate in such an intimate, deep way. And you see of all the different appearances of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna has the most intimate pastimes. What other expansion or what other form of the Lord appears on the altar with his girlfriend? It's usually his wife. Like Lakshmi Narayan, Sitaram. But Krishna is the most intimate. So how do we chant Krishna's names? How do we connect with Krishna? As I said before, first of all, we must hear the name from a pure source. And that, of course, is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada and his representatives. But in addition, there are rules for chanting that will help us reach the perfectional stage more quickly. And those rules, which Prabhupada would mention at every initiation, are the 10 offenses to be avoided. Number 1, that's the negative rules, what not to do. And then the Shikshasaka is what to do. So the 10 offenses to avoid while chanting the Lord's holy names, are as follows. 1, one should not blaspheme the devotees of the Lord who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord. No matter what you read on the internet about a Vaishnava, don't respond to it unless it's something good, which is extremely rare. People in Kali Yuga, if the moon has a little spot on it, they'll spend 3 days on the internet and Facebook pointing out the spot on the moon and criticizing the moon. Don't do it. Actually, it's described that one should not criticize a Vaishnava for some accidental problem, for one's past, for a Vaishnava's past, for present reactions for something that happened in the past. Or for one's phone. One should not criticize a Vaishnava for any of these things. So one has to be very, very, very careful. So the second offense is something that a lot of people are prone to, is the considering the names of the demigods to be equal to or independent of the holy name of Lord Vishnu. Now, there's many demigods. They are there, but they are subservient to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. They work for him. They're his cabinet. Just like you have a president of the United States, and if you consider the members of his cabinet to be superior or equal to him, that is foolish. So the members of Krishna's cabinet, like Vayu or Indra or Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva or Durga, are subservient. They're great devotees. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. Like Lord Shiva is a great devotee. So he's subservient to Krishna. He's worshiping Krishna. So we respect him in that way. So if you want to respect the demigods, put them on their altar, offer them Vishnu Prasad or Krishna Prasad. Just like at Bhuvaneshwara. Bhuvaneshwara, incidentally, in Orissa, is called Gupta Kashi. That means hidden Kashi. It's a place of Lord Shiva. So what they do when they're offering food to Lord Shiva is that they take the remnants of Lord Jagannath, which is pretty close, and they transport those remnants in a taxi. Used to be in a rickshaw. But now in a taxi, they transport them to Lord Shiva's temple. And they give them to Lord Shiva. And he's very happy. And there's stories about when Lord Shiva eats Bhagavad Prasad, Mahaprasad from Lord Vishnu, he starts dancing in ecstasy and he can't even control himself. He's so happy taking Mahaprasad. So those are the demigods. So one should not consider the demigods to be equal to or independent, or the names of the demigods. So the next offense on chanting is to disobey the order of the spiritual master. Of course, one should not follow blindly the instructions of the spiritual master. Everyone has a right to ask the guru, why have you given me this instruction? Can you give me a Shastric reference for this? And like that. So it's not blind following. And we have these checks and balances in Krishna consciousness called Guru Shastra the Sadhu. Like in the government, you have checks and balances, legislative, executive, judicial branches. So we also have checks and balances. We have Shastra. Shastra means the books. We have Guru, the spiritual master. And we have Sadhu, other great devotees. So we can check and balance and understand how to apply the Guru's instructions. Not disobeying the Guru's instructions, but how to apply them. How to apply them is a science called hermeneutics. I know it's a big word for all of you. Hermeneutics means how to apply the words and understand the words of the spiritual master. We're not going to get into the details of that right now. So the next offense to be avoided is to blaspheme the Vedic literature or any other literatures which glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one should be very, very careful. The Vedic literatures are multi-branched. Generally, most of the Vedic literatures deal with material things, not spiritual things. Why do they deal with material things? Because they're trying to give people a gradual path upwards. Like we described, the four regulated principles that we follow are material. Yes, they're material, but they're necessary. They're not sufficient. There's some logical language for all of you who study at the university. They're necessary to bring you to the mode of goodness so you can perform devotional service, but they don't take you back to Godhead. For example, if you want to take an airplane, you go to the airport. But going to the airport is not sufficient to get you in an airplane or to get you to your destination. It's necessary, but not sufficient. I'm trying to understand or explain the words necessary and sufficient to all of you. So the Vedas deal with a lot of sub-religious stuff because most people, guess what? They're not ready to take directly to spiritual life. So, all right. So if you're not directly ready to take to spiritual life, at least be vegetarian. Okay? At least a little something. Or if you're not ready to take the spiritual life, at least give the results of your activities to Krishna. Offer the results of your activities to Krishna. Krishna, in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, goes through this very nicely. He says, if you're not able to do this, then do this. And if you're not able to do this, do that. Be detached at least from what you're doing. So the Vedas deal, Trigunya Vishaya Veda, Nish Trigunya Bhavarjana, Nir Dvando, Nityashat Krishto, Nir Yoga Kshema Atmavad. The Vedas mainly deal with these three modes of material nature. So one should not criticize them because the ultimate purpose, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, text 15, is to know Krishna. Just like if you're climbing stairs, the ultimate purpose is to get to the top of the stairs. But you need to climb the stairs. But if you're already at the top, or you take the elevator, which is the Bhakti Yoga process, then you don't need to climb the stairs so much anymore. So Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, he was talking about the stairs, and Krishna said, no, you're already on that platform. Just surrender. Don't worry about it. So one should not criticize the Vedas. So another offense to be avoided is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna to be imagination, or the result of chanting of Hare Krishna to be imagination. It's not. It's directly Krishna. The next offense is to give some crazy, perverted interpretation of the holy name. There are bona fide interpretations, understandings of the holy name, like the word Krishna means the most attractive person who gives you bliss. And so then the next offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting, because by chanting you get rid of all your bad karma. And so you cannot or should not continue chanting and committing what we call sinful activities, or activities that give you bad karma, and think you're going to get away with it. It's something like in the Catholic Church they have this confession business, that all week long you do your nonsense, and then one day a week you actually confess and you're absolved from your sins. There was one movie, and I hate to mention this movie, I watched when I was young. It was about a lady who, anyway, she was a member of one of the world's oldest professions. And on Sunday, she was a good girl. But the rest of the week, she was really bad. And other religions, actually, they have one day a year where they confess. So maybe that's a better religion. So it's better not, so one should not utilize God to cleanse himself or herself from activities which are counterproductive to spiritual life, activities which are what we call vikarmic, or create a bad reaction. It doesn't work. God knows better than that. If you do that, it won't work. So the next offense is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna to be like a ritual. In every religion we have different rituals. In Krishna consciousness we have different rituals, different ways of dressing. We put our tilak on. We have a little sika, at least the men have a little sika, or a big sika, depending on who you are. And some of our devotees have really big sikas. But the chanting of Hare Krishna is not just a ritual. Rituals are necessary because they help you focus your mind. They're very important because they help you focus your mind. But the whole point is to focus your mind on Krishna. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. Just like you have the yoga system. Some of you may be familiar with the Patanjali yoga system, the Hatha yoga system. So he says the whole purpose of the yoga system is, first of all, to stop the turning of the mind, and second of all, to focus the mind on Ishvara. Ishvara means Krishna, the supreme controller, God. So that's really the purpose. So, therefore, one should not consider the chanting to be like one of those rituals. It's not. That's the goal as well as the process. Many of the things we do are not the goal, they're the part of the process. But the chanting is the goal, because when you go back to the spiritual world, you'll be chanting too, but chanting in ecstasy 24 hours a day. So, that's really, really important to remember that. And one should not preach the glories of the Lord to those who are faithless, or those who are going to misuse the information. And then finally, one should be attentive while chanting the Hare Krishna, let's say, one should be attentive while chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that's the overall offense, inattentive chanting, that causes the other offenses to occur. And one should try to give up material attachments. Of course, the offense is not to give up the material attachments, even after hearing so many instructions in this matter. So these offenses should be avoided. But now on the positive side, we have Lord Chaitanya's instructions on how to chant. Many people ask me the question, how to concentrate on the holy names when you're chanting, because they say my mind is wandering and going in so many directions when I'm chanting. And Arjuna also indicates this in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Chanchala hi manaha Krishna pramati balavadridam tajaham nigraham manye Bhayover eva shaduskaram. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, and to control it is more difficult than controlling the wind. So, how do we focus? How can we be attentive while we're chanting? And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives us instructions on how to do this. He says we should be praying and begging Krishna. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram. Patitam mam vishame bhavambodo krupaya tavapada pankaja stita duli sadrasam vachintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, I'm your eternal servant. Somehow or other, save me from this horrible material world and fix me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. So the chanting is a prayer. It's not a ritual, as we mentioned before. That's one of the offenses on chanting, of course. I think it's a ritual. It's a prayer to Krishna to save you. We are drowning in this ocean of material existence. You may not think you're drowning. You may think you're swimming. Just wait a little while till you get old. Then you'll understand what drowning is. So we are drowning, and we're watching so many other people drown. And the point is that we are thinking that it won't happen to me. Ahani, bhutani, gachanti, yamalayam. That's the most wonderful thing. Is that we see everybody go, leave this world, die, and we're thinking it's not going to be me. It's an amazing thing. Just like even myself, I'm seeing so many of my friends and even disciples and everything leave this world, and I'm thinking, not me. I'm just going to be there, at their funerals, but, that's my position. I'm not going to leave. So we are drowning. Not only drowning, but we're being pushed here and there by our senses. We are suffering the threefold miseries. I can go on and on and on about these things. But in any case, we should be praying to Krishna, help, help, help. Like someone who's fallen off a boat or overboard. You pray for help, and that's how you chant the Lord's holy name. You cry for help. And if you can't cry for help for yourself, cry for help for someone else. You must have someone you love, you can pray for, cry for. Like that, please, Krishna. Like if you're a parent, you can cry for your child. Don't you love your child? Right? Madhava? Did you ever chant for Madhava? Madhava, let Madhava be a great devotee. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. How about that? We blessed him today. So you owe me for that. All right, so pray with your heart, not just the movement of lips and tongue. You chant with your heart. And by chanting with your heart, you connect to Krishna. Bhavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Kataja Joshana Rashu Apavargavartmani Shradavratiravakti Nukramishati, because the sound vibration goes from the ear to the heart. There's a channel, according to Lord Kapila Dev. And so then you really connect. You can really see Krishna. You can feel Krishna. And then you'll be happy. And that's the whole point, to be happy and to make others happy. That's our vision. That's our goal, to be happy and make others happy. Simply think like that. And ultimately to do that to make Krishna happy. That's love, bhakti. Okay, so that's initiation. We're doing this first initiation. There's also something called second initiation. Second initiation is Brahman initiation. None of the devotees are taking second initiation today. But it's all Harinam initiation. So, now we'll proceed with this taking of the vows. Each and every devotee will take their vows before the deities. And the process is, first of all, they have to put their neck beads on. Everybody should put their neck beads on. What? Now, before they come up. And one by one, the devotees should come up and, after I call their names, offer obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, the deities, and their spiritual master, and they will take their vows, get their spiritual name, and be seated for the fire sacrifice. So the promises that each devotee is making is follow the four regulative principles, the sub-religious principles, and to chant minimum 16 rounds a day, and possibly more on Ekadasi. Each devotee should have their neck beads on, 3 strands of neck beads. And I'll call the devotees one by one. Actually, we have 2 devotees here who have taken initiation from His Holiness Vedavyas Priya Maharaj, who is my dear godbrother. Whoops. And we have another devotee who is not here right now, but is watching, Asha, who is taking initiation. She's actually with her family right now. She's taking initiation. She's watching online. So we'll be talking about giving her name online, I guess. All right, does everybody have their neck beads on? So one by one, let me call the names. First of all, Shiva Prabhu and Padmaja Mataji should come up. So first, you offer, well, I guess it's going to be hard to crawl over everybody. So from where you are, I guess, you offer obeisances to Prabhupada, the deities, and then you come here. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. So, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Jai. Surrendered soul. So you gave me three beads. I'm not sure which one is for who.
This is for Shiva Prabhu.
This is for who?
For Shiva Prabhu.
This is for Lord Shiva.
That's for Mataji.
Oh, this is for who, Asha?
No, this one Mataji.
This is and what's the other bead for? Well, then we use that for Asha now. Yeah, because they wanted me to give that. Okay, so that's funny, Lord Shiva. So Shiva, what? Sorry about that. So what are the 4 regulated principles? If you use the mic, I can't speak. He can speak loudly.
No meditating.
Okay, and how many rounds every day? 16 rounds every day. Minimum 16 rounds every day. You get the bees. Which are his bees? This or these are his bees. Okay, your name. I remember your name before, many years before, was Hare. Yeah. So I'm going to give your name based on that. That's not going to be your name. So take the bees with your right hand. Your name now is Harivenu Das. Harivenu. That means Krishna's flute. Venu. Venu kambanta maravinda dalayak daksha. Okay? Okay. Padmaja. And so what are the 4 regulated principles? You get closer. I'm not that dangerous yet. I'm too old to be dangerous. So what are the 4 regular principles? Okay, how many rounds every day? 16 minimum. And if you can, chant more on Ekadasi. Usually if I have time, I chant 64 on Ekadasi. And it really changes one's life when one chanted 64, because that's not a rule. It's just a question if you have more time, especially on Ekadasi and special holy days, to chant more. Okay, so you get the beads with your right hand. Your name now is Padma Priya Devi Dasi. Padma Priya Devi Dasi ki jai. Haribol. Very nice. Actually, let me give you a piece of paper that has both of your names so you remember. Ki jai. All right. Okay, Nilima. Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Haribol Hare Krishna. So, what are the four regular principles? Okay, and how many rounds every day? Okay. Yeah, if you can chant more on Ekadasi, that's good. Okay, your name now is Nanda Dayani Devi Dasi. That's of course a name for Mother Yashoda. Dayani, yeah. Like in Nanda Maharaj's wife, Dayani. Okay. Oh, here you got your bead bag too. That's free. So, Dayani. Okay, Srinivas Prabhu. And Nandini. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. Okay. So, what are the four regular principles?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling.
No gambling. And always listen to your wife. I added that one. So what? How many rounds you chant every day? 16 and more if you can on Ekadasi and other days too. Okay, so you get the beads with your right hand. So I guess, yeah, both these beads are the same. Your name now is Sri Balaji Das. You know who Balaji is? I hope so. Das ki jai. Okay, and then, okay, Nandini. And how many rounds? 16 rounds every day, more in Ekadasi if you can. So your name now, get the beads with your right hand, is Nitya Manjari Devi Dasi. Nitya Manjari Devi Dasi. You get those, right? Okay, and next is Srujana. Okay. Whoops. Hare, Hare, Hare. Oh my God. Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna. Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. Okay. So, what are the four regulated principles?
No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no other stuff.
Of course, she's led a pure Krishna conscious life from the very beginning, so it's almost embarrassing to ask those questions. So, how many rounds?
A minimum of 16 rounds every day, and one Ekadashi.
More in the Kadasi, and you'll always listen to your mother? And father. Yeah, sorry. That. So we add a few little things here. So you get the beads. Actually, I'll give this to you later. With your right hand. So your name now is Suvarna Radhika Devidasi. You get that. Suvarna Radhika. So Suvarna is gold. And Radhika, I think everybody knows who Radhika is. So, Dasi ki jai. So you have Radha Smarna and Suvarna Radhika. Okay. And then Asha's not here. Do you want to get the beads for Asha right now? What's that? Yeah. Well, I don't have the beads, but... So those who got initiation from Vedavyas Priya Maharaj can come up and offer their obeisances. And, of course, they have their names already, right? So I don't have to give them the names. So I just want to congratulate them. Offer obeisances to Prabhupada and Shishi Radhagolokananda. And they have very beautiful names. Phew. They don't know the names? Should I announce the names? Okay. Nitin's name is Nitai Gunamani Das. What a wonderful name. Wow. Hare Krishna. And Jyoti is Jyotsna Devi Dasi. Haribo. Beautiful names. Congratulations. And I guess he's sending the beads, or? What? Oh, they got the beads. Oh, really? How'd they get the beads so quickly? He sent them. Express mail. Okay. Express mail from Mayapur. Pretty good. Okay, congratulations. On your spiritual birthday. Actually, the first birthday is, the human birthday. And then we take the second birth from the spiritual master, and that's actually the spiritual birth. So this is actually more significant than the other birth, than the bodily birth. Although, we respect the father and mother, and Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, the austerity of the body is to respect the mother and father. So Krishna agrees with that too. But the spiritual master is the eternal father, and Srila Prabhupada, for those of you who are taking initiation now, is your eternal grandfather. And Prabhupada commented that the grandfather is more merciful than the father. So you're more fortunate than me. Yes. He's very merciful, but I'd like to have Prabhupada as my father and grandfather and great-grandfather and all of that. Anyway, that's another story. So As far as Asha is concerned, she's online and watching. And so her name, and these are her beads. Who's getting the beads for her? It's for what? No, it can't. It's not set up right now. And we'll just get feedback if we do it. So you get the beads for her, and we'll see her soon. So her name now is, well, I'll just give the beads. No. Is Ananda Chinmayi Devi Dasi. Ananda Chinmayi Devi Dasi. Not your name. Oh my God. But you can convey that information. Well, she should be watching.
But I'm blessed today.
All right, doubly blessed. You can give her the beads. Ananda Chinmayi Devi Dasi. So, all right, so let's continue with the fire sacrifice. Okay, you ready? Ananda Chinmayi. That's another name of Radharani, too. Like, Jai. Jai. What? Joshna? It comes from the light. She who gives light. Like Jyoti, Jyotsna. That's the name of Radharani. I didn't give that name. That's right to be out for your mind. Kamani Pakada Sadmachakupa Vriksha Yantam. That's all right. That's all right. Let her. That's all right. Sheshobam Varipurusham Amaham Bhajami. Oh, wants beads. I don't have any more. Mangalalitam. Sari Gaur Bhakta Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Om Pantu Ma Devagnaha Punantu Manasadiya Punantu Vishwa Bhutani Jataveda Prima Om Asya Vantu Bhavantu Om Punyaha Om Punyaha Om Punyaha Om Budgadeva Shakune Samakayati Maha Mantra Yoga Vaneshu Samsati Visheva Bhagi Shushumati Vidya Sarvata
Hare Krishna
Swasthayam Namah. Om Bhuvaswayam Achyutayam Namah. Om Swasthayam Narayayam Namah. Om Bhuvaswayam Anantayam Namah. So you guys have, you all have the offering that you can do. So yeah, just take a little bit with your middle finger, ring finger and thumb. And men will put like this and ladies will put like this. Hare Om Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasraman Sabhumim Vishwato Vidva Atthatiஷ்ඨ Shangulam Swadam Krishnayam Namah. Om Purushaye Vedam Sarvam Yad Bhuta Yad Shabhavyam Udam Vidat Sheshanah Yadannena Tirohati Swaha. Om Etavanasya Mahima Ato Jaya Gashya Purushah Pado Savishwabhutani Tripadasya Devi Swaha. Om Tripadurdhavadai Purushah Pado Seha Bhavat Punah Tato Vishwam Jagramat Sashananashane Abhi Swaha. Om Tasmat Virajayata Virajo Adhipurushah Sajato Vatrishtataha Paschat Bhumimato Puraha Swaha. Yat Purushena Havisha Deva Yagnotantata Vasanto Vasya Shirajham Grishma Idmasharadhavihi Swaha. Om Saptasyan Paridhayaha Saptasamida Kritaha Deva Yagnantanvanaha Abhattan Purusham Pashum Swaha. Te Yagyavarhisi Prokshanne Purusham Jatamadgataha Tena Devaya Janta Sadhyayachayashtaye Swaha. Tasmat Yagnat Sarvabhutaha Sambritam Pisharajyam Pagushtale Vayavyane Aranyan Gram Yashtaye Swaha. Tasmat Yagnat Sarvabhutaha Vijasamani Jagnire Chandagam Si Jagnire Tasmat Yajustasmad Jayata Swaha. Tasmad Asvajayanta Yeke Shobhayatah Gavuha Jagnire Tasmat Tasmat Jata Javayah Swaha. Yat Purusham Gatahu Katidava Kalpayanne Mukham Kimasya Kavahu Kavurupada Swaha. Brahmano Shamukamasid Bahurajanya Kitaha Urdanasya Ratvaishya Patyagam Shudrajayatah Swaha. Chandrama Manaso Jatah Chaksho Suryajayatah Mukhatindra Shagnishya Prana Vayurajayatah Swaha. Nabhyash Ashirantariksham Shirshna Dhav Samavartata Medashastotrat Tatha Lokagam Kalpayanne Swaha. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamashastupare Sarvani Rupani Vichitradhira Namani Krishva Bhavidana Yadaste Swaha. Data Purusajat Ujagraha Chakra Pravedhan Pradeshasya Sastra Tamevam Vidvan Amritahe Bhavati Nanya Panthananya Vidyate Swaha. Yagnena Yagnam Ajanta Devaha Tani Dharmani Prathamani Shane Tahena Sadha Shanti Devaha Swayam Krishnayam Namah. Om Swayam Vishnavedam Namah. Om Swayam Achyutayam Namah. Om Swaswayam Narayayam Namah. Om Bhuvaswayam Anantayam Namah. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Sharakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Swaha Swaha Swaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Swaha Swaha Swaha. Vandeham Shri Guru श्रीयुता पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च स्वाहा नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते वीर कृष्णदास गोस्वामी इति नामिने नमो हंसा विकासाय प्रभुपाद प्रियायते सुहृदा शुद्धिनिष्ठाभ्यां तस्य वाक्यानुवादिने स्वाहा 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 नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते वेदव्यासप्रिया स्वामी इति नामिने स्वाहा 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 नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे स्वाहा 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 नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवर्षभानवि देवी ललिताय कृपाभये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान आयने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाध्य श्रीरूपरूप भक्तिदा श्री गौरा करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते दीनतारिणे रूपायुगा विरुद्धापसिद्धान्त अन्तहारिणे स्वाहा 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 नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये प्रलम्बरसाम्बोधे रामबुधायते नमः स्वाहा 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 नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय योगपरायते स्वाहा 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 गौरविभावभूमिस्त्वं निर्दिष्टसज्जनप्रियः वैष्णवः सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः स्वाहा 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 पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा 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 नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरकृषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं स्वाहा हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते स्वाहा जयतां सुरतो पंगो मम मन्दमते गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजो राधा मदन मोहनो दिव्याद्रिन्दरण्य कल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नकार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद्राधा शीलगोविन्ददेवो श्रेष्ठानिधि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि स्वाहा श्रीमन्रासरसारम्भी वंशीवततस्थिता गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रेयस्तु नः भक्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे स्वाहा स्वाहा ओम भस्वायदं विष्णुदं नमः ओम भस्वायदं विष्णुदं नमः ओम सस्वायदं नारायणायदं नमः ओम भूर्भस्वस्वायदं अनन्ताय
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,